we're standing in front of the building that houses the Commission on Presidential Debates. Back in 2000, they said, hey, you got to be at 15% in 5 national polls that we pick. Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, they did not cut it with the American public. They're at 8.6, 8.4%, according to Real Clear Politics. Why should they be in?
The polls were not correct. They didn't ask about him on the first question. I read all the methodologies, and his name was buried down deep into the questions. And also the CNN ORC poll that came out, if you look at every single page from 18 to 34-year-olds, it was NA, so they didn't even get enough statistical data to even represent it.
Certain polls have underrepresented 35 and under. Other polls have underrepresented independents. Independents make up half of the voting population in the United States, and some polls only polled Democrats and Republicans, and they only included about 15% representation from independents.
There's a groundswell of opinion in this country that we need multi-party politics or third-party politics, and it just so happens that history has set the table with Johnson Weld. It's such a strong ticket that if these guys can't be the dam breakers to get us to multi-party politics, nobody's going to.
But I got to tell you, it's the extremists on both sides that are ruining America.
So you see Gary Johnson and Bill Weld as centrists, because normally the knock on libertarians is that there are these crazy people out there on the horizon talking about, selling crack cocaine in grammar school.
I see their side of it, but I'm not going to agree with any candidate 100%. The only person I'm going to agree with 100% of the time is myself. So barring that, I align myself to Johnson Weld more than any other.
I don't agree with everything Gary Johnson has to say, but right now he is the only one in the middle. He's the only libertarian who has any chance of getting on the national stage and saying, like, hey, we can agree to disagree, but the number one priority in America has to be liberty.
What do you like most about Gary Johnson?
That he's speaking honestly about the issues I'm concerned about, which are the tax code and how complicated it's become, and Social Security, which needs to be reformed.
I believe he's the best choice for our country, and I want a smaller government. I hopefully want to get some of the troops home, stop all the stupid wars.
You said earlier you drove all the way from Boston. That is some kind of commitment. Would you do that for any other presidential candidate?
Absolutely not.
I am outraged at the thought of a Clinton or a Trump presidency. I think it's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing for America that we are going to have people that are known crooks and liars speaking for us and basically being our American icon.
Well, we're here protesting the decision not to let Gary debate, and obviously we all want Gary on that stage with the other 2 candidates, and we wouldn't mind seeing Jill up there too.
Since views align with mine very well, any small L libertarian Republican, and I think that that's a huge part of the party, would be happy to support him. But I also think that we're teaching our kids to vote for bad people. We're telling our children the 2-party system has nominated these 2 candidates and they're your only choice. And everyone who supports one of those 2 candidates, I hear them saying, yeah, I hate my candidate, but they're less of a liar than the other candidate. And less of a liar is not a good reason to vote for someone.
He's now on all 50 ballots plus the District of Columbia. And I think it's imperative for the American people to understand truly what their choice is. And they do have an alternative choice to Trump and Hillary.
Are you traditionally, are you a Republican, a Democrat, Libertarian? Where do you fall?
I've always been a Democrat and always voted that way.
What do you think explains his immense popularity among younger people?
Well, of course, libertarians were a little worried with the Bernie phenomenon that the millennials who liked Ron Paul just 4 and 8 years ago were suddenly going socialist. But, their concern about Hillary, I think, is making them look at Gary or Jill Stein and seeing his liberal positions on a lot of social issues, whether it's the drug war or intervention overseas, regime change, or privacy, the surveillance state, overcriminalization, a host of issues where Governor Johnson is better than Hillary on.
I've never done this. We're not activists. I've never even put a bumper sticker on my car. I've never donated to a campaign.